Hey guys, welcome to Adventure Camp. Today we are making bechamel pasta. Let's set up camp and get to cooking. I'm not sure if I'm going to need the awning today. It's a very nice weather and the sun is not too hot and it comes and goes. So we will see. If it gets too hot, I will just deploy the awning. So now for the bechamel pasta. Definitely a dish that I didn't think that I would make at camp, but here we are. For this dish we will need the stove and we will need the oven. We will first start on the stove and then we will finish in the oven. And today we are going to use charcoals for the oven versus the last time, if you remember, if you have seen the previous video where I used the oven using the gas. It consumed a lot of gas to heat up, so I'm curious how it will behave if I use charcoal. So we'll give it a try and see. Yeah, so that didn't take a long time. It's hot already. I need to deploy the awning. So that is the oven that you have seen last time when I made apple cake. So I will use that one to finish up bechamel pasta. So I will just keep that ready aside and I'll also bring down the charcoal. I just realized that I have to close the awning because I cannot get the charcoal back home. Also in this bag, this is where I keep my firewood, fire starter, heat gloves. I also have some wood chips for flavor for barbecue. Bechamel will need some warm milk, so I will take it out of the fridge now. I didn't make bechamel before, and I always wanted to make it. So my mother used to prepare this dish, and now the bechamel sauce itself is a tricky one. The issue is that I don't know exactly how much milk I'm going to need, so that is almost 1 cup. I think I will add a bit more, just in case. So it's almost trial and error here. I read, of course, a recipe. We learn by doing. I will put this one in the sun. So first we start with the pasta. We boil it, not all the way because it will still cook in the oven. And then I will also bring now the beef from the fridge just to get it warmed up a little bit. For pans we need 1 pot for the pasta, 1 pan to make the beef. I will also bring 1 onion to grate, and after that will be the bechamel, and then in the oven. Easy. At least it sounds easy. I managed to bring the biggest onion in the market. By the way, those guys that you have just seen, this is the horse track, which I'm just right next to it, cooking bechamel pasta. People who ride horses, they come here to train. By the way, I refilled my gas bottle. If you have watched the last episode, or the one before the last one, I cannot remember. While cooking, the gas bottle emptied out and I had to use the small ones just to continue the meal. And we have fire. Now for the amount of pasta that I will use, I am the worst when it comes, especially knowing the amount of pasta that needs to be used. So anyhow, I will use more because I'm staying here maybe for 1 or 2 days more. So whatever will be excess, I will just use it in another dish later. So that is like half a pack. I think I will add a little bit more to that. I also got the garlic. So I will use half of this head. By the way, I always use more garlic than in the normal recipe. I like the garlic taste in my food. The pasta water coming soon to a boil. So we will start grating this. I usually like to use the knife when it comes to the garlic, because anyhow the last bit, it's almost very difficult to grate it unless you also grate part of your fingers. But for the recipe of today, best to have it grated to mix well with the beef. You know, cooking is a good workout. The onion, of course, is giving a lot of juice, and the beauty about this board, it has edges so that it can actually collect all of the water, and instead of just dripping everywhere. Pasta water boiling, and in goes the pasta. While the pasta is cooking, we start with the beef. So now in the pan I will add the beef first without anything, I want it to get some color, start cooking, and then I will remove some of the fat because this is not lean beef. I couldn't find lean beef actually, which I prefer for this type of a recipe since it's not going on the grill, so I prefer to use the lean beef. So this goes into the pan. Easy. Now I will not do anything, I'll just let it do its thing. Here already the sizzling, and I will only flip this once it gets some color. So all of this fat I'm going to drain. Okay, I drained as much as I can, and now I will use a towel, a paper towel, just to take the excess fat. Okay, I'm happy with it. So we have taken a good amount of fat out. Now we are ready to put on our onions. For the spices, I will be easygoing with that. I don't want a lot of spices to cover the taste of the meat itself. So we'll add the basics: salt, pepper, bit of chili, and nutmeg, some coriander as well. Now I hit also the garlic. I need to check on the pasta because, as we discussed, we need to take it out before it completely cooks. So let's see. Yeah, turn off the heat. That's enough. So I'll drain it so it doesn't continue cooking. All right, drained completely. Today is one of those days I don't need the pasta water. Mix in the garlic. First we start with some salt, some black pepper. Nothing much. Chili powder, nutmeg, and almost forgot coriander. We mix all this in here. Yeah, I think perfect. And since we add tomatoes, always good idea to add some sugar. That will work against the acid. I'm using 1 pack of brown sugar. Mix that in. In the Stanley cup, we will do our bechamel. Now I get the butter from the fridge. So it should be the exact same butter to flour ratio. This is, I don't know, 1.5 tablespoon, maybe less. Put on the heat to get the butter melted and turn off the heat for this one. While the butter is melting, which we'll do quickly, we get the flour ready, and I have a small whisk for that job since we are using little ingredients. Check this out. That's so cute. Again, first time to do the bechamel sauce. It's one of the basic sauces, French one. In the recipe, the amount of flour to butter is exactly the same. So I'm trying with my eye to see if this is the same or not. Something like this, to the amount of butter that I have added. So we will add the flour bit by bit and keep stirring. Need to reduce the heat a little bit. And then I need to get the milk ready. I think that's nice, the milk is actually warm. Butter melted. Let's add the flour. I will do everything bit by bit because I don't want to mess it up. I mean, what can go wrong if I mess it up? It's okay, it's my first time. Okay, looks beautiful. Now I will season that. So for this, the first thing that we add, bay leaves. I will add only one actually. It's a very small quantity, and the flavor that this will give is great. And salt and pepper. I will also add nutmeg. It gives again nice flavor. Just a tiny bit. And I mix this all together. So that is definitely enough. I will kill the heat now. We need to fire up the oven. So the idea now that we put fire starter into this compartment here. In this one I will just put the fire starter here. From the top here I will feed twigs and firewood and charcoal. The only issue is that I have to use everything in small pieces because that's a tiny opening over there. So I'm using this type of fire starter. And this is the bag of charcoal that I have, which I'm going to use from. I will also use some of the wood chips just to get the fire going at the beginning. And these ones will be on top of it. I don't know how fast this will actually light, but let's see. Okay, actually, since it has some good fire on it, I will try to put the charcoal right away. Let's see how fast this goes. I will open the vents here and in the back to have the maximum airflow. I was a bit concerned to put it on the tailgate, but now looking at the wind, there is no too much heat that is going up because I'm afraid it will catch the awning. So I will put it on top of the tailgate because it will make things easier for me. This thing I didn't expect to ever do, an oven at the tailgate of my truck. I will add some of the small pieces of wood, the wood chips, because I can see that the charcoal itself will need to take some time until it lights up. Those wood chips are from Weber, and those are smoked wood chips. They also give some very nice flavor. Well, not that I need it, but it's very nice to smell. I will keep always an eye on this one because I don't know when the heat will die. Let's get the pan ready. So one layer, okay, preferably one layer of bechamel without the sand. Just a little bit, and with my trusty spoon I'll just brush it. You know what, I should have added some of this grease first, just in case. I don't know if this will stick or not. I think I can still add it now. Now we add half of the pasta. I think we are going to use all of this pasta. That's a big pan. For some reason I thought it's smaller. Now we hit it with the beef. We add some mozzarella, optional actually. Really fancy, for me at least. And we will keep the mozzarella close by because we will need it soon. So now we add all of the remaining pasta. And you know what? This amount, it's just right. Guys, can you see that? This is going to be incredible. Now look at the consistency. It's solid enough that it stays. It's not liquid that it goes all the way down. Just right. So I'm just trying to scrape all of the goodness of the bechamel sauce that we have made from scratch at camp. So this is going into the oven now. The oven has heated up to 350, so I would say that's good enough for this one, and I still need to keep an eye on the temperature because I don't want it dropping. Now if you open this door, the heat will drop, so I need to keep it always closed unless I need to add some more charcoal. And since I'm using charcoal, I definitely need a drink. Those wood chips are incredible. This is the poultry smoking blend. So it's sweet and that's too much smoke. That's sweet and mild. And now it's increasing the temperature. And that is also one of the characteristics of this lump charcoal. It will retain the heat for longer time. But I also want to try with the briquettes, because the briquettes gives higher heat, which is exactly what I need here. But the smell, literally, it's as you are grilling. All of the ingredients are already cooked, so this will not take much time. So I would say 15 minutes or so. I will add also soon the mozzarella on top. This oven doesn't have a grill from the top. This is a more of a convectional oven. So, but I'm not worried. I will only get it just started to melt, and then with my fire gun I will give it the nice char on top. Of course, never too shy with the mozzarella. And we give it some time. So I would say 10 to 15 minutes, and we check again. The oven came just below 300 Fahrenheit, which is fine. I didn't want to add more because I don't need any more cooking. All right, so now this is how it looks out of the oven with the mozzarella melted almost all completely. So now we get it here on the table where we fire up this top, and we will add also some Parmesan because we can and we should. This is so exciting. I just love to use it. This is already awesome, but we are not stopping there. Some Parmesan. I mean, I am already hungry, but even if I'm not hungry, I would definitely eat from that. I'm so proud of myself. Ho, 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 ho. Look at that. I don't know what to say, but bechamel pasta at camp. Incredible. It needed to be more spicy for my taste, but in general, like the bechamel sauce, like a typical bechamel pasta, this is incredible. It's quite a luxurious, let's say, meal that usually is done in occasions. I'm glad that I now get to make it at camp. It was a fun experience, so I'm now going to finish this. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe if you enjoy this content, and I will see you in the next adventure. This is insane.